if you feel sad, disappointed, angry, whatever the emotion is about what somebody said to you, then it's most likely because of the story that you made up behind those words. In other words, the meaning that you gave those words, or your interpretation of the intention behind those words. The stories that we have in our head are almost always wrong. Here's an example. One of my clients asked me once to send a proposal on a Friday. Called me on Friday afternoon, said, Andrew, can you send that to me within the next 2 hours? If I don't get that into procurement right now, I will not be able to spend that money. So I dropped everything, sent her the proposal, never heard back. Right? So not a thank you, not a confirmation. A week goes by, don't hear anything. And I'm sure that you have had some experiences in your professional life like that as well. Another 2 weeks goes by, nothing. And I get upset. I really said, Andrew, maybe you could teach something later, but maybe you need. So I was like bubbling up inside, and got more angry by the day. And then 3 weeks go by, nothing, zilch, until I got an email. And that email read like, Andrew, I'm so sorry I ghosted you. Like right after our call, I got a call from my family. My mother passed away and had to drop everything, fly home, take care of things. So I couldn't take care of that. And I felt like a jerk. And I'm sure you had similar experiences in the past as well, where you judge somebody and then you learn the truth and like, oh, okay, I didn't know. So better shut up. So here's how you can prevent that from happening moving forward. So whenever you hear somebody say something to you that upsets you, pause. Review the story that you have in your head and then verify the story. And you do that by observing what was really said. So if somebody calls you a mofo, and you know me by now, when I shoot these kind of videos, I do it in a way so that your children can listen. So you know what a mofo is, yes? So if somebody calls you a mofo, that's what they did. The observable thing is they did call you a mofo, right? That they were disrespectful, that they didn't like you, that they wanted to insult you. That is not an observable thing. That's an interpretation, right? So go back and look at the one observable thing that you remember. Think about the story that you make up, and if the story is true, verify it. I give you another example from my life. At one point in my career, I worked with a group of special forces, and all of these guys there, they're all men. All of them were a head taller than I was, with arms like I have thighs, right? Tough guys. And they took me out to a secure location, and we trained tough stuff, like pulling somebody out of the car, pinning them to the ground, putting the handcuffs on, and stuffing them back into the Suburban. In the rain, in the mud, in all kinds of scenarios. It was the toughest thing I've done in my life. I was in a bathtub for 3 weeks after that. I was so sore. But my point is, at one point they called me mofo. And I was not upset about that. To the contrary, I went, wow, what, they accepted me. They respect me now, right? So I gained their respect. I'm one of them, right? Awesome. So did not bother me a bit. But if a stranger would have said that to me out there on the street, I would have killed them. No, I'm kidding. But I would have been upset. Yes. So why? Because I make up a different story. And maybe that person just had a bad day, right? And didn't mean it that way, and just let go of all the frustration just because he saw that German annoying guy, right? Usually the story that we have in our head is the wrong story. So find the last observable thing and then verify if the story is actually true, or find out what the real story is. And the best way to do that is ask. Ask and clarify, and stop judging people based on the story. And you know the work that I'm doing with women and how hard I work to help them to grab a seat at the table. But there's one word that I hate. That they should have never come up with that. Mansplaining. Why? Because the difference between explaining and mansplaining is judgment. Mansplaining means that somebody explained something to you in a condescending way, meaning in a way that they feel superior and put you down. Well, it's also true that 30% of men do not have the function in their brain, the biological function in their brain, to detect condescending behavior. So they don't realize when they are condescending to others, they also don't realize it when others are condescending to them. So if you feel that somebody's condescending and mansplaining, tell them that. So, you know what? The way you just talked makes me feel like you're condescending. You don't respect me. You talk down at me. And when you tell them that, more often than not, you get an apology. They didn't realize that they came across as condescending. And they're like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it that way. That's so much healthier and constructive than walking away, putting judgment on a person, being upset for an hour, the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend, I don't know, right? But clarify. And if the story is right, then at least you also have the opportunity to address it head on rather than swallowing it up and feel bad for the rest of the week.